In Places with Pierce has traveled all across the East this year, and there sure have been some memorable moments all along the way.
First Alert meteorologist Pierce Legion takes a look back in this week's People and Places with Pierce.
2016 marked the beginning of People and Places with Pierce, a new series set to discover the little-known treasures across the East. And what better way to kick things off than in the small town of Swan Quarter? The story of Pat's sign captured the hearts of many, but for the people who live there, it's a completely different story.
It's actually kind of like a place like home. I mean, it represents your home because it's always been here.
Every morning for the past 20 years, letter by letter, Pat paints the news of the day, all the while adding his own flair along the way.
You never know what Pat's going to say. He's a comedian in and of himself. He's always saying something funny, so it translates on the sign.
It's kind of a chore, but when the people ride by and speak and like it, you know, that makes it worth it. And that's why I'll keep doing it until I can't do it anymore.
Next, we're off to the small town of Williamston for a story that might give you a bit of a scare.
There used to be a mill here, and it was operated by a Mr. Yarrell and his wife. Got to the point that he decided that he would eliminate her, and he tied a millstone around her neck and threw her in the creek here. The story that I have grown up with says that at midnight you'll be able to hear Ms. Yarrell screaming at this bridge.
Yes, you could hear screams.
I'm not sure that I believe the screaming part. I have never heard the screaming, and I really don't come down at midnight to check it out.
And really, who could blame him? Our next stop takes us to one of the East's iconic restaurants, a humble hot dog shop that offers much more than meets the eye. Ask around, and many will tell you the one place you need to stop when you're in Washington is Bill's Hot Dogs.
It's an institution, and plus the taste, and you can't get this taste anywhere else.
I think it's known for the chili. Everybody calls it white chili. On an average day, we sell a couple dozen, you know, somewhere around there.
And finally, who could forget the trio of triplets in Windsor, spreading holiday cheer to thousands as a way to cope with the loss of one of their own.
Most people call us by the Christmas light man.
Why, you might ask?
Hold it tight, hold it tight. When everything is lit completely up, right over 500,000 lights. It really got started in 1991. My oldest daughter, Carolyn, was involved in an accident. She skipped school one day and never came home. In 2006, I built the Angel, and that's how we got started. It's a big relief for me. It gives me something to do. It keeps your mind off a lot of it, even though it's been quite a few years since my daughter passed away. You know, it's a therapy.
The East has many more stories to tell, so People and Places with Pierce marches on to 2017. From here, there, and everywhere, Bertie to Carteret, Green to Dare, Pierce Legion, not on your side.
Pierce is always looking for interesting and unique people and places to visit across the East. If you have an idea, send him an email or connect with him on social media.